Today, the believers step forward with eyes on possibility, a team built on courage, youth, and a relentless chase of tomorrow. So they come in with their green shines bright under the sun. That signals that they have something boldly written and ready to rise. But haunted with a relegation fight, Swedru All Blacks will continue to fight on. They are trapped in their tradition. Come here at the Lagos Stadium with their fans who say they are steady and ready to fight for every point in the Premier League. At least they want to stay and ensure that at least their fans continue to excite themselves with the Ghana football. Now, this is the match where the still believers are gradually building momentum after notching up 3 wins in the last 5 matches. Wilfred Dormo's team have now climbed up to 11th position in the Ghana Premier League standing and will aim to keep their foot on the pedal when they come up this afternoon. Of course, they are hoping at least Swedru All Blacks will fall today. A win for Dreams FC will inch them up in the Premier League ladder after enjoying a difficult start in the campaign. Now, this is a match where relegation hunters Swedru All Blacks will be desperate to pick up a win to end their 4-match winless streak when they also come up here today. It's pretty much of an interesting battle there for Dreams FC and, of course, for Swedru All Blacks. They've had very, very difficult, daunting tasks back home in terms of matches they've played so far. They've won just 2 of their Premier League matches with both victories coming at the Swedru Sports Stadium. But their poor run on the road offers very, very little hope and a big of a surprise there. So a win here will be a big, big surprise for them. Their fans continue to sing and chant that at least the All Blacks team will be able to pick up a win here. But the interesting bit about the team is that they have the Egyptian coach, Ahmed Fati, who certainly has assured the fans that something dramatic might be happening today against Dreams FC. So this is where we are looking forward to seeing how things will pan out for these 2 sides in the Premier League in match week 11, with the match officials also ready to ensure that these 2 teams come up with something spectacular. Dreams FC, after the 1-0 win against Hawaii United, they certainly are making just 1 change in the side, with Christian Owusu serving a suspension, and so Nicolas Asante replaces him in today's match. Just 1 change they have made in the game there, so they come in with a 3-5-2 formation, Dreams FC, and they would hope at least it works out perfectly for them for the 3 points that they are seeking in today's match against Swedru All Blacks. This is a match where Wilfred Dormo really is coming in with almost all his arsenals and ensuring that they always get something spectacular. Jonathan Nemodine, the man who always comes from the bench to get something spectacular for Dreams FC, was the man who's got the only goal for them, for Wilfred Dormo's side against Hawaii United. And there's the man who has been trusted with the work to change and Dreams FC. Looking resplendently beautiful in the outfit, and showing that their Dreams FC side clad in their green and black outfit, all the blacks in the black and white. They certainly are also excited to be part of this very important journey in the Premier League. Hasn't really been the story for All Blacks. They're making 2 changes there. Shadrach Arthur and Hafiz Alhassan being dropped on the bench there. Kweku Aswanzi Bafo is there to replace Shadrach Arthur, and Yakabia Solomon Nareba is also being given a chance to start in today's game ahead of Hafiz Alhassan. So 2 changes there for Swedru All Blacks in today's game against Dreams FC. And Joshua Kwe is here for us to look into this match, All Blacks and Dreams FC.
For Dreams FC, they're really turning the corner very early into the season. Just match day 11, but they've been very, very convincing. It's this man in your shorts who I'm worried for, because in 6 away games or 5 away games, they are yet to pick up a point, which is quite troubling. But he believes they could break that change.
Well, he talks about the fact that the team would have to go all out and fight for today. And the Black Magicians, they call themselves All Blacks, and they certainly know that this will be a huge, huge daunting task there for them in today's match. But there's nothing that probably will be stopping their play there. This will be the very, very first competitive game between Dreams FC and All Blacks in the Ghana Premier League. And the history will be making here. Drama will certainly be coming into this game. But the 2 coaches are coming out with some tactical genuity and looking into what might be working for both sides. For Dreams FC, they seem to be on a certain pedestal in terms of performance, in terms of goal scoring, in terms of keeping certain clean sheets. But All Blacks really aside having difficulty in ensuring that they keep themselves in the Premier League.
Yes, Ali, for Dreams FC, they come into this game at the back of that 1-0 victory against Hoho United on match day 10. So they look poised, but for Swedru All Blacks, it's all about the front line. It's been blunt for them. In 5 away games, they've only scored twice, and they've conceded as many as 6 goals, which isn't so good for a team, that just came into the Ghana Premier League.
So it is week 11 of the Ghana Premier League, the chapter where momentum begins. No matter where, every point becomes a stepping stone, and every mistake a potential heartbreak. So there we are at the Legon Stadium. Beneath the warm afternoon glow is Dreams FC and All Blacks, obviously in their own defensive lines. And so they try to cover some of the performance there. It's going to stress something beautiful. Dreams FC already trying to charge forward against All Blacks. Looking to hit the ball straight into the half of Dreams FC. Well cut up beautifully. And again, the match officials would have to call for a sudden decision. Kofi Kuma was the man at the back, the centre back there for Dreams FC doing his job. It's been a difficult moment there for the All Black side. Kwekua Swansea bound for really a lot of work expected from him. Well, the fans expect to see a lot of running in midfield, but the battle certainly will be where some of the players will be doing most of their work there. Roland Leve playing as the right full back today for All Blacks. Ball already gone off the line, and it's going to be a throwing advantage there to the home side, Dreams FC. And so certainly would have the likes of Mohamed Shaban Nasir to effect that one, obviously dropping that one for Asante Opong to deal with it. So behind the lines there, you expect to see some bit of runs there from Yaro Isaac. Switching play down to the right-hand side. Cleverly being cut out beautifully. Abdul Aziz. Even though All Blacks seem to be the team playing away from home, they have a very vociferous fans in the stands to spur them on. At least they know that the 3 points is very valuable for them if they have any chance of staying or avoiding a relegation battle. We've seen the difficult moment there. The likes of 11 Wonders really have had to go through in the Premier League. And now there's time there for Rudolph Mensah trying to switch play and hitting this one straight into the waiting arms of goalkeeper Gideus Isiako.
Yeah, it's been stale. It's been a bit scruffy in midfield, especially for Dreams FC. That's where their strength is, where you have out here Blay, you have the likes of Suraj, and sometimes they lack to create the overloads in midfield. That's why they are blessed with that 3-5-2 formation. It's all about the strength in midfield for Dreams FC, and sometimes they can't crowd that area, making it difficult, for any team that's not technically equipped, to break the lines for them. And that's how they could set up, making it very, very frustrating for Swedru All Blacks this afternoon.
Levis throw here for All Blacks. I was looking to pick up a Swansea. And again, a struggle for some bit of stability out there. And Benjamin Ajay couldn't quite deal with the situation. And so it's going to be a freaky advantage there to Dreams FC. A very fair official meeting between the two sides. Dreams FC have been unbeaten in their last 3 games in the Premier League. Scored 4 goals in that road, and so some of the wins there against Samatex. Beaten by 2-0, and then drew 1-1 with Karela United, and then continue with a 1-0 win against Ahoy. And Leve was trying to advertise a cross into the box, but was cut out beautifully there by Nicholas Asante, who is now playing ahead of Christian Owusu. Sometimes very rugged defense in the midfield as well for both players, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and that's the Dreams way. Physicality, going a bit more combative sometimes, and they make it so difficult for the opponent. I watched that game, where they traveled all the way to Doma to play against Indiana, and it was just a lapse in concentration and the dynamism of that game that caused them. And Winfred Dorman has spoken about the fact that they just want to keep their concentration levels very, very high throughout games, and they'll be hoping to do the same here today against a Swedru All Black side that feels that they really need to improve on their way forward.
Well, Swansea, Kubafu is one player who's always been fouled, and so the visitors do have a free kick here. And they're expecting Samuel Fusu to deal with it. Trying to get his teams to actually follow his lead there with the ball swung into the far post. And it's been headed back into play and picked up by Rudolph Mensah. So an advantage there through All Blacks, and trying to drift into a very good position there is Ikabia. Nereba was waiting for some bit of a throw-in pass there, but that decision has been Swap there with Abdulaziz going into effect this one there for All Blacks. Aziz here. Spread the play down to the near post, and again it's been poorly headed out of play.
They've been impressive so far, Swedru All Blacks, and they're enjoying, you know, the surface. And for Dreams FC, it was just going to be a matter of time before they get exposed and try to adapt with a new surface. You know, moving from the tube AstroTurf to the University of Ghana, two different surfaces. You have the AstroTurf and then also the natural grass, where the ball moves a bit more slower. You can see Swedru All Blacks, they are very comfortable on the ball so far. They are finding men in open space, and Dreams FC are just playing catch-up.
Well, interesting games being played. Hull United, who lost to Dreams FC, currently lead 11 Wonders by a goal to nil. Bit of an interesting scenario there for 11 Wonders with Jay Sapon, who just witnessed his last game against Midiama. And trying to cut himself out of the way, but Dreams FC would have to advertise one. Ball into the box has been cleared. Very far away. And I was expecting to see Suraj in the box there, but it's going to be an advantage there for... well, again, it's a decision going in favor of All Blacks. I thought it was a corner kick. Yeah, that was the main argument there by Dreams FC.
Yeah, and that was Suraj's, like, you know, reaction all of a sudden. He was thinking that ball came off, you know, the All Blacks defender last, but the linesman just had to lift the flag, pointing to the penalty. Sorry, for a goal kick rather.
Yambler here for Dreams FC. Quality play there for the home side. Cut up beautifully. Swansea going in there for a tackle. And again, it's been won back beautifully there by James. With respect to Suraj Swedru. Send the ball down to this far side. Couldn't quite get to the intended target. Yao Gedde is also playing a huge role there in midfield for Dreams FC. They've been very resolute and absolutely strong in terms of their play. And now you expect to see some bit of runs there by that Nazir. And as you see the side trying to get into the box there. And it's Shabat Nazir really working out on the left wing there. So at least you've seen some bit of attacking play there from Dreams FC, trying to make sure that at least they get the first goal here.
Yeah, the first real intent from the home side, and it came down the left-hand side, and it's that combination, and that's what you want. You'll always want to see, especially when you are playing with fullbacks. It's a 5-3-2 formation, and obviously there's quite some space, half spaces, full spaces for your fullbacks to attack, and on that occasion, it was a great run and a good move by Dreams FC.
The first corner kick of the afternoon there to Dreams FC, whipped into the far post once again. Well, Blacks will have to bring it down beautifully. Rudolph Mensah charging forward here. He's been impeded, according to Rudolph Mensah. Yes, the referee just whistling in favor of All Blacks. Tell you what, their fans really come in their numbers. They have really taken over the stadium, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And, you know, for a side that's now struggling, they find themselves in that relegation dogfight. That's what you would want from your fans. From Swedru to cries about, you know, a 2-hour ride. And sometimes that's what you need to do to show your loyalty and also help your team stay afloat in the top flight. And for Swedru All Blacks, they've missed Premier League football for a long time. And once they are back, their fans also have got a role to play. You know, if this team will survive the early scare and maintain their Premier League status, I think it's not just up to the players or even the technical team, but also the fans also showing their loyalty, following the team wherever they go.
Free kick advantage there. John Andop being brought down and so being quickly dealt with by Oscar Mensah. We'll talk about the All Blacks team and the match against Accra Hearts of Oak, where the game went goalless. Quality chances they had. And again, it fluffed a lot of them. Actually put a lot of pressure there on the coach, and the fans really asking for his head after the draw against Accra Hearts of Oak. And that also became another talking point for Hearts of Oak after losing to Kotoko and drawing to All Blacks as well.
Yeah, it was actually a good point for All Blacks, especially looking at the fact that they came up against the best team on the road in the league. It was a good game for them. they just couldn't take their chances, and that's one of the most frustrating aspects of the game for All Blacks. They have a striker who scored 27 goals in Division 1 last season. He's only married twice in 10 games, and it's frustrating that they are not banking in the goals and the attack looks a bit blunt. But they're hoping that maybe in an away game like today, they could at least score and just keep a clean sheet.
Get a long ball to the right-hand side. They're going to pick up Siraj as well. On a quality pass, the flag has gone up on offside. And Nicholas Asante really being picked up here. And it's Opong as well. All of them involved in the action. Asante, Opong. And Asante, Nicholas would have to go for this one. Sends it back to goalkeeper Siako. They didn't want to take any chance at all. Safety first.
Yeah, not at all. And I was thinking he could have just hit that one straight into throwing rather than going to the goalkeeper with that reverse pass.
Kulani here trying for a chase. Has been picked up beautifully. It's Clement Tutu. It's ensuring that the goalkeeper is well guarded. Kulani again chasing for that. An high press there from Dreams FC. They have a very interesting way, an intricate passing movement where they get themselves away from trouble. Well, those constructions sometimes might lead into some bit of a discomfort.
Yeah, that's the strength of the team. That's sometimes they're unfazed by, how deep or how well you'd want to press, because they have quality players in defense who can just play, like you said, intricate passes, very complex but short, and they try to get the job done. But sometimes it comes at a cost, and it's very, very risky if you do not find the right person and you give the ball away, because you might have to move straight from attacking to defense, and that's always a trouble for any team at all.
Yaro, switching plays, was trying to pick up the runs there of Mohammed Shaban Nazir. Couldn't quite deal with him. Well, the very last time Swedru Blacks won a game in the competition was back in 19th October, and that was match day 6, and that was a 2-0 win against Basaka All Stars.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. Their promotion back to the top flight actually, gave the faithfuls of Swedru some hope, a glimmer that they were in to compete. But since they came in match day 10 and they're already battling relegation.
But they've got the chance here. All Blacks, they've got the chance to make sure they at least get the opportunity for the first goal. And this time it's been flat there. Rudolph Mensah able to keep possession. But Yikabia Suleiman was doing a great job there. Couldn't quite find him, sort his feet out. And so the ball just going away. And All Blacks asking a lot of questions there at the defense of Dreams FC. It was a quality pass there as they move past again. And this time, flag stays down and they make... Oh, how many of those moments, but the flag had already gone off on offside.
Yeah, big chance, Gunbergen. And for the first time in the game, we've seen the Dreams FC defense exposed, and it was just unfortunate Swedru Blacks couldn't take advantage of that one. It was good movement, and that's where you need sometimes players who can carry and progress the ball, and on the occasion it was a good move by Swedru Blacks, and just unfortunately they just couldn't keep their cool in the final third. And some early injury concerns for Dreams FC already.
About Blacks being winless in the last 4 games in the Premier League, having lost to Midjema and drawing with Heart of Lions, and also losing away to Samatex. And the match day 10 game against Accra Heart of Oak was indeed a very exciting one. Well, the goalkeeper for Dreams FC, Siako, really has kept 3 clean sheets after match day 10 in the Premier League. Very able hands there for Dreams FC, still believe side.
Yeah, they keep conceding. Dreams FC, that has been their bane as well. You talk about Swedru Blacks. In 10, they've conceded 10. Dreams FC themselves, they've conceded 9 in 11. So relatively, Dreams FC, they can boast of a better defense, but it's not really been bad for Dreams FC, looking at the fact that they've been able to turn the corner, and they've started picking up some vital, crucial 3 points at home.
Well, Clement for Swedru Blacks has kept 3 clean sheets as well after match day 10 in the Premier League. Almost the same statistics with that of Siako. Very little to choose from the 2 goalkeepers. Again, ball's been given away. Swansea Kweku was able to win it back there for All Blacks, but couldn't quite make it to the intended target. Ezekiaro was a bit sloppy at that time. Siako here, trying to stitch play once again, looking for Shaban Nazir. Couldn't find him. Third target. Throw-in advantage being taken down beautifully there by Roland Leve. Here comes Clement Ai. Right in front of him to deal with it is Santi Opong. Leve. Bit of a heavy touch on the ball there by Benjamin Ajay.
It's obvious Dreams FC are struggling to adapt to the surface now. Yeah, the home side, but early dominance by Swedru All Blacks. It's been so easy for them, to string the passes together to make, incursions into the final third. We're just not seeing Dreams FC, nothing of that sort from Dreams FC so far. And it could take some time for them to adapt, but it's still adjustment stage for them now, and they would definitely hand over possession to Swedru All Blacks.
Swansea quick Bafu and Levitt just moving up, and you still have Siako dealing with it. And cleverly they come back to regroup to win by possession, but at least the most aggressive side advertising for a goal early is All Blacks. Well, the flag already gone up, and Nereba was actually trying to steal his way out.
Yeah, fraction offside there. They're moving the ball better, faster, quicker. They're making Dreams FC chase shadows now, and they are so swift over that 4-4-2 flat, and they are defending in lines of 2, 4, and 4, and it's becoming difficult for Dreams FC to break the lines now. You can see, 3v3 here now. Even before Dreams FC start that move, it's becoming very, very difficult. They are suffocating Dreams FC.
Well, some of the fans have been asking about All Blacks and how they've been very, very strong at home. They lost to Gold Stars at home, but have kept some very interesting results at home as well to most of the teams played. The Swedru Park. Sometimes you look at the Premier League and some of the teams, their skilled attack is one in which against opponents we do not know how to do and defend it. I'll tell you what, a skilled defense is one which opponent do not know how to attack. Kulani was the target here, has been headed up beautifully there by Oscar Mensah.
Like we rightly mentioned, it's now, the wide play for Dreams FC now. Try and move the ball to the wider areas, because now there's no space in midfield for them.
Good turn there for Swansea Kwekubafu once again. It's the ball were cut up beautifully by Kevin Ahiable. Shaban Nazir was keeping possession neat and simple. Mohamed and John Hand also doing his job there. The flag has gone up on offside. Tell you what, assistant referee look me Michael Abanyigaya flagging that, and pretty much confusing almost everybody at the stadium as to whether indeed it was an offside or he was just on the line. Was he onside when the ball was kicked?
Oh, close, a fraction, and sometimes it's so tight to tell, but I think the runs of Swedru All Blacks now making it very difficult for the lines, but they're one of the teams that you'd say they love to run, they love to take the game to the opponents, they love to utilize the spaces that are being left by fullbacks, and we're already seeing that from Swedru All Blacks, and you'd be hoping that at least some of these scores will be as accurate as it could be, but I think twice in a quick session, they just need to time their runs now. They're making too many early runs into, behind the defense of Dreams FC.
Here comes Yaro to his goalkeeper, Siako. And so the game is still ongoing here at the Lagos Stadium. Just about 20 minutes gone on the clock. Both sides struggling together. Opening goal here. Here comes Samuel Fosu, sending it back to the goalkeeper. Switching play to the midfield and bit into it there. Swansea quick powerful and obviously picked up here by Shaban Nazir for Dreams FC. Looking to cut in beautifully, he does, but he's been stopped in his tracks. Quietly working hard. Fosu. Yet again, the flag stayed down, but it's gone up on offside. Tell you what, probably you're talking about the runs there of Ikabia Solomon. Probably need to time his runs well.
Yeah, he has to, but in quick succession, in the space of 3 minutes, they've been caught offside or flagged offside 3 times. And, you know, it's the speed with which they are playing with and the way they transition the ball quicker. They're not spending too much time in midfield, but rather they are trying to find men in open spaces. And this will be a lot of work for, you know, the officials today, because already there's been boos and cheers from the crowd. Because some of these calls have been tight. Tell you what, Graham, it's been very, very tight, close to call.
What? So All Blacks now going in for the first goal. Yeah, they have. And Swedru All Blacks, surprise, surprise. They have scored. And I tell you what, they said they were coming here to fight for their 3 points. They said they're definitely going to make sure they avoid relegation. And so it is Rudolph Mensah with the first goal here. They go up here against Dreams FC. And this will be an exciting jubilation there in Swedru. 3 times they were caught offside, but this time the flag stayed down.
Yeah, it did, and what a goal that was. We spoke about the fact that they've been the most dominant team. Dreams FC adjusting to playing on the new surface, and they've got punished. They were leaving spaces behind. They were pushing more men forward, and you know, it was just a swiftness of Rudolph. You know, and this was expertly taken, well executed with a left foot. This is a player who has scored 29 goals since last season, and that's the 30th, and it just couldn't come any better than this. They've been the better side, and I think they deserve the lead.
I tell you what, there's an exciting time there for a player to score the very historic goal there for Dreams. Well, All Blacks against Dreams FC, and that was it. Left foot goalkeeper simply was stuck on the left foot,
yeah,
just couldn't move it.
Yeah, and that was straight from outside the box, but then with the left foot, and it was accurate, just the precision from that side. Just look at that. And that's the mark of a good striker who can shoot with both feet, and just look at that. At full stretch, Asiako had no chance at all, had no chance. And Rudolph made sure he planted that one, you know, at the far right-hand bottom corner where Asiako wouldn't have a chance at all. And that's the mark of a great striker. And, you know, Swedru All Blacks have got a great striker in their ranks.
Well, I did say in my introduction that this is the very first competitive match between Dreams FC and Swedru All Blacks, and this is the very first goal scored there by Rudolph Mensah, but there will be a response here, and Shaban goes down, and the referee says what? It's a penalty. Quick response, absolutely. An interesting call there, but the player went to ground, yes. Was there a touch? Yes. Was it enough? That is the argument.
I think it was, and it was a drop. You know, they just dropped their guard. It was a lapse of concentration for Swedru All Blacks, and it was just unfortunate. You know, they just scored the first goal. They just got an opening goal, and all of a sudden, you know, they just couldn't keep their concentration levels up there, because at some point there was miscommunication between the two attacking Dreams players, and they just had to deal with that. And just look at that, giving away a cheap penalty kick right after scoring.
Wow. What a game we have. What a game we have. And Chris Gedda really going for this penalty here for Dreams FC, but it took just some 30 seconds for them to get the penalty. They were caught off guard, Dreams FC, and quickly also found a way to respond to All Blacks, and also getting them or catching them off guard as well.
Yeah, I just think, you know, as much as a cliche could sound, teams are weakest right after scoring, and that's what we saw, you know, with Swedru All Blacks. It looked like they were disorganized. They were yet to just organize themselves at the back.
The celebration was actually cut short.
Of course,
that celebration was simply cut short there. Livid. Now Suraj would have this one there for Dreams FC has got to beat Clement Ayer to put the team back in the game. And so Siraj Ayer, Siraj, it makes it 1-0. Game on here at the Legon Stadium. Just 30 seconds after going ahead, Swedru All Blacks down their guards, and Shaban Nazir was actually fouled in the box, and Siraj just converting expertly and getting themselves back in the game. So with Dreams FC 1, Swedru All Blacks 1.
There's a steal from Siraj. He's a top player, and that's why he's been revered by his peers. Just look at that from 12 yards. You know, composed, calm, you know, and just slotted that one past Clement Ayer. No chance at all for Clement. He just stood rooted to the ground, and there was no way he was just going to save that. But for All Blacks, they still can dig deep. They've been the better side so far in this game, and they've really dominated the game, you know, in all aspects. But for that lapse in concentration defense, they've just given away, you know, a cheap penalty to Dreams FC.
So the scoreline clearly confirms what is happening, how dramatic this match has really been at the Legon Stadium between Dreams and All Blacks. Well, last time Dreams FC actually lost a competitive game in the Premier League was back in match day 7 against the Adriana Stars. They've been exciting to watch there. Dreams FC had to draw 1-1 with Karela. Their first drawn game in the Premier League. That's match day 9 as well. Well, now it's 1-0 here against Swedru All Blacks, just about less than a few seconds after they went ahead. Just under 30 minutes, we already have 2 goals in the game, don't we?
Yeah, it looked, you know, evenly matched, despite the fact that Swedru All Blacks were creating the better chances, they were making the best incursions. But, you know, it's quite shocking that already we have 2 goals, and it leaves the floodgates open, that we could see more goals, depending on how both teams would want to, you know, maximize the chances they create. For Swedru All Blacks, you know, is a positive thing, scoring, you know, just their 3rd goal in an away match, in 6 away matches that season. But for Dreams FC, we've seen them. They've been tight at the back. They've kept clean sheets, you know, at home. And, you know, it's a clean sheet gone, but there's a quick response from them. That's the best thing. And I believe Coach Wilfred Dormont would really be smiling that after conceding, right after conceding, they've been able to grab the equalizer.
Well, so that's the penalty. And again, it's interesting how All Blacks had to switch off immediately after going up. I mean, the celebration actually was just some seconds away after the going up.
Yeah, obviously, it was just a matter of who was dealing with that ball, and they were just not precise with that.
Such a play there between Klebia Solomon, Erebar, and that of Woodop Mensah, causing a lot of troubles there to Isaac Yaro and Nicolas Asante on the rear for Dreams FC. It appears the goalkeeper, Isiako, might be having some bit of an issue there. One of the things he did talk about was that he slipped before leading to the goal from Rudolf Mensah.
Yeah, he just mistimed that.
And Shaban Nazir once again is a player who got them a penalty, Levitt, standing on his ground and ensuring that at least he's able to get the ball away, but ball off the line.
And that's what goals can do to a team, and all of a sudden Dreams FC are playing with so much confidence, something we've not seen in the first 25 minutes of the game. Now it looks like that, you know, penalty dispatched by Seydou Suraj has brought some tone, you know, of confidence, you know, into that side, and you can now see them pressing very, very high, especially with their fullbacks or the attacking wing backs.
Oh, lovely here. Swansea Kweku Bafo stays down, and so there may be opportunity. Well, the flag is gone off on offside once again. I thought it was going to be an interesting call there for a free kick outside the box or inside the box, but then It was just the offside call that came out from the assistant referee, Luke Michael.
Graham, that's a big call. It's a big call. And that comes to the, dismay of the All Blacks players. They just can't believe. That's about the 4th or 5th time they've been caught in an offside position. And, these are tough calls, But then it boils down to the timing of the runs they make, especially in the final third, which has been very, very swift. They love to run. They are very, very agile and pacey attackers. And that's why the Dreams FC defenders are struggling to deal with the pacey nature of the All Blacks attack.
Again, Dreams FC really going to bother. Siraj was going to penalize the player. Siraj has scored an opportunity here, and so Swedru and that of Rudolph, the 2 goals in this game. Picked up possession, but the referee really calling that to be an offside, an infringement. To the disappointment of Samuel Fosu, how to charge the referee to at least have some bit of word there, but Swedru Kubafu comes in as a captain to tame things down.
Yeah, frustrating times for both teams now. After those series of huge calls by the officials now, then it's now creeping in. The frustration gradually just sipping in.
Free kick taken here. It's repelled here by All Blacks. Swedru Kubafu has been pretty much busy this afternoon in the game and switching play down to the left-hand side. I was trying to pick up Suleiman Nereba, cutting in beautifully. Here comes Rudolph Mensah and bit into it there. Kulani. Trying to move in here beautifully here. Another good pass, and Aye comes it, and quickly has been moved away there by Clement Tutu.
Great awareness by the goalkeeper Aye. He'll step off his line to deal with that danger that could have been dangerous for them, and he had to act like a sweeper on that occasion.
Another opportunity once again. Was it a handball? Well, the referee saw that to be a very legal tackle. Been seeing a lot of the balls into the box of All Blacks there. Shaban Nazir. It's been a very tricky play on the left-hand side. Been notched into the advertising board there. And
it still remains down.
Yeah. And I've been told a bit of an injury scenario, but a flag is an offside against Rudolph once again. I tell you what, Rudolph just can't believe the now he's so animated with the situation there.
Everyone is frustrated now, and for Rudolph, that cold smile, after that. But he's really shown his prowess now. He's really shown how pacey and fast, and there's too much space for him now to operate with Dean, and he's just catching the defense of Dreams FC napping each and every time. But injury concerns now for Clement Aye. Nah, he's been great for them, but you can see Dortmund really he's not really been pleased with the way the defense has had to deal with, with the attack of Swedru All Blacks. They've been so lethargic. They've been slow to the second balls, and in that regard, Swedru All Blacks have always been the better side, as far as pressing them, taking the balls to them, exploiting the spaces they leave behind.
I'll tell you what, I think that Dreams FC are really playing high up on the pitch there, the back line. Almost at the time you see them just almost close to the center line. And so anytime All Blacks do make those runs, those intricate runs there between Rudolph and Aika beyond the back, they always find themselves in a very difficult position. And that's the line that they've drawn, which gets them into the nets there.
Yeah, Graham, I think you're right. That one of the things we spoke about is the fact that it's a different surface. This is not the AstroTurf. The ball is a bit slower. Your movement, your reaction would be a bit slower than than initially expected, and that's why they have been, caught napping each and every time. They're slower, half a second slower to react to some of these long balls, and it's been quick. It's been very, very lightning, quick from Swedru All Blacks, especially from Rudolph and his attacking partners. They've made it so difficult for Dreams FC, and I'm quite surprised that they're playing with a high line. This is a Dreams FC line or a team that would always sit deep or even play with a mid block. Today is a high line from them, and Swedru All Blacks are just taking advantage of that.
Well, the mini conferences, the touchline really indicating to us what's happening in the minds of the coaches, beginning to have some of the talking to be done. Well, so Suraj there has got 4 goals so far for Dreams FC in the Ghana Premier League. He had only scored 3 before he scored the penalty to make it 4 goals. And he's one of the, you talked about his prolific play there for Dreams FC in the Premier League.
Yeah, he's a top guy. Played once for Accra Hearts of Oak, was a brilliant attacking player, but since he moved to Dreams, he's been a different player. He's added quite a lot to his arsenal, to his skill set, and this Dreams team would always fall on him to conjure some magic when the going gets tough.
Get it. Cheering away from almost everybody. And again, he's been well cut up beautifully there by Abdulaziz for All Blacks. A total of 10 players from Dreams FC and All Blacks have combined scored 17 goals after match day 10. And that's going to be a free kick here. It's really been a very, very exciting day for Ikabia Solomon Ereba. He's really worked hard on the left wing.
That was a good call, and yet again, their swiftness, their speed coming to bear there, and that's the strength of this Swedru All Blacks team. They've made it so difficult for Dreams FC today with those speed, one-on-one situations there. And Dreams FC would really, really have to map up a strategy to just get till these dangers.
Here comes a right-footed free kick by Swedru All Blacks. We do have a kind of a decision to be made there by the players. Ball sent to the far post again. It just goes off the line.
Just not the best of deliveries there. That was a big chance. Not really seen them get such opportunities, especially with dead ball situations. Handful of corners, handful of free kicks, and you should be making the most out of such situations in cagey tight games like this.
Well, lack of communication there between Aziz and John Ando. So bringing down Suraj. Rudolph Mensah really has got 2 goals before he got the goal here, making it 3 in the Premier League. And Swansea Kwekuba has also scored 2 goals already in the Premier League. Aziz. Oh, Dreams FC now may have a chance to make it 2, and you have! Poorly done in the back there, and they have been punished. Chris Kedem makes it 2-1 there for Dreams FC. Again, it's about decision making. Again, it's about how strong you are at the back. And All Blacks, just to get the run of play, have gifted Dreams FC a goal here. And now it is Dreams FC 2, Swedru All Blacks 1.
It was served on a platter for them, and one of the easiest goals he would ever score in his life. And we spoke about the fact that Dreams FC, Swedru All Blacks would always play it out from the back. They would never go long. They have that confidence, but then the risk involved is always high. And Yalvi is right there at the right place at the right time to just tap that one, from a distance, just flash past the goalkeeper. No chance at all to save that. And now it's going to be a tall order for them to get back into this.
It's very first goal there for Dreams FC. Oh, the referee now whistling for a free kick here for All Blacks. Again, is a surprise scenario there now. The very first time Dreams FC going up in the game. All Blacks started it well. They had the opportunity, they scored, but they have been punished.
Yeah, you get punished if you play with fire. They were playing with fire. You know, their confidence in this game stemmed from the fact that they were passing very well. They were finding men in open spaces, but there's always a risk. There's always a price to pay, you know, if you lose the ball in such a dangerous area. And we all saw what happened. It was just awful. Bad passing, drop, and loss of concentration there, costing them hugely in a game where they've taken the lead once already, and it looked like they were going away. Back to Swedru with 3 points. Now they're trailing.
Thank you. Welcome and have fun. Thank you. The last 5 minutes of the game here at the Legon Stadium. An opportunity now for All Blacks. We'll hit this one very wide. It is. So, first 40 minutes of the game, your assessment?
Yeah, Graham, I think it's been shambolic in defense for All Blacks. We've spoken about the fact that, yeah, there's a team that's yet to pick up a single point away from home in the Ghana Premier League. And, you know, you walk into a game like this, you take the lead, and you just drop your guard, and all of a sudden, you begin to chase the game from a losing position. And for Dreams FC, they just had to show maturity, and, you know, they kept on doing what they had to do. They stayed to the game plan. They didn't change it. They kept on pressing high up. And I think they've been fortunate within the intervals, but overall it's been a good game for them, and they're really showing maturity today with their decision making, and they've also pounced on 1 or 2 errors of Swedru All Blacks, and they've punished them for it.
Total of 6 players from Dreams FC and Swedru All Blacks have been awarded the most valuable player. And again, Shaban was just lurking around to hit this one, commits a foul in the box. Maybe a head injury here to Leve. Very intriguing game we have there. It's a lot of pressure now on Fatih, the coach for Swedru All Blacks. He asked his players to come and fight for everything. They seem to be the team truly now to going up very early in the game. With Verdoma really seeing his side competing excitingly in the Ghana Premier League. They continue with this fine form. They continue to be a side who are unbeaten. But Swedru All Blacks winless in their last 4 games, and this will be. That is, if it stays this way to the end of the game, the 5th defeat in the Premier League on the road there. And so the fans, I want to put a lot of pressure there on the officials, on Swedru All Blacks, who certainly hoping the team continue to stay in the Premier League and not go on relegation as early. And you can actually see on the faces there, they are not happy about what is happening during Swedru All Blacks. Since the made the appearance in the Ghana Premier League back in 1962-61 season, Swedru All Blacks, they finished 9th, and then they were relegated for the very first time at the end of the 2nd season. That was back in 1962-63 season. There's a handball scenario here. Obviously, it's going to be Kofi Kuma, very first player to have his name taken after that deliberate handball. The Swedru All Blacks fans were just fuming and hoping at least the flag would have gone up and the yellow card would have been shown quickly. So Kofi Kuma booked. Free kick here, and Siako would have to get his wall ready to defend his free kick. Trying to see a lot of work there by the players and the technical side. And free kick. Taken short, whipped into the box, and again it's been defended gallantly there by Dreams FC, but ball gone out of play. It's John Ando to effect this one there for All Blacks. The players in the box there. 24% of foul post once again. Players coming in to fight for the ball. The referee whistling for an infringement. That last time All Blacks came into the Premier League, the 2008-2009 season. They were 14th place, and they got relegated after amassing 36 points. And back in the Premier League this time, All Blacks really were hoping they can continue to stay 3 minutes at a time, according to the fourth official. In 1999, All Blacks got relegated again after picking up 32 points and placing 15th, and also got relegated back in 1978 as well. 23 points they had at the time and got relegated as well in 1971. 15th place out of 20 clubs with 26 points. They got relegated. And Dreams FC here whipping the ball into the box, and now they may have chance another corner kick. So Dreams FC, we're hoping to continue with this fine form as we end the first half. Rid of Mensah with the first goal, then it was cancelled by Siraj. Swedru with a penalty well converted, and as a concern there for Dreams FC's captain Ebenezer Dade. I do have a corner kick to deal with it. Dreams FC. Ball sent in, goalkeeper, Aya comes in. Just dropped the ball there, but again it was impeded according to referee. So Aya just has a respite for that. Two. Leve. And Fosu here for All Blacks. I was looking to pick up Ando. And that's Swansea Kwekubafo. All Blacks really are not overall there by the performance of Dreams FC. They continue to ask a lot of questions. And they continue to find a way to get themselves back into the game. And the throw into the box, and Swansea Kwekubafo goes in. Aziz here. All Blacks advertise a long ball. Aziz! Wow! What a goal! This is wonderful! Tell you what, this is a match you need to watch. This is a goal Aziz will fancy and watch for many, many, many years. And the fans will continue to love this. An absolutely exciting goal there from the left full back, Abdulaziz. Quality goal there, Abdulaziz. The Dreams FC really caught off guard there. We're just talking about the performance of Swedru All Blacks. It continued to fight on, but they are back in the game, aren't they? It's 2-2 as we draw the curtains down the first half of this match. The last action, the last goal there, and the last strike. Abdulaziz is showing that the first half never stopped short from giving us some drama. Dreams FC going up, but again it was this man who started it all, Rudolf Mensah, and Siraj Said who cancelled that with a penalty. But it was Gede who got Dreams FC back in the game there, and now it is Abdulaziz who's drawn them back in the game. And so we continue. We're back again for something spectacular maybe in the second half. But this side will continue to advertise and entertain the fans here at the Legon Stadium. At halftime, Dreams FC 2, Swedru All Blacks 2.